Hi! There's so many of you here. I love it. So many friends that I know you guys, so thank you. Okay, so what I do, if you haven't worked with me before, I always feel like I'm repeating, but there's so many new people, so I think I need to share that. I am clairvoyant. I do channel. I talk with guides, angels, star beings, all of these, ascended masters. But when I do readings, I connect in with the archangels, and then clairvoyantly, I read your energy field. So they're here to help hold some light and some good space, some good vibes. So 305 kg. Okay, let me tune in for you for just a little question and answer. So you kind of left it open, so I'm just going to hearing clairaudience, what they say. So 1 second. Oh, I'm just hearing like the words peace and comfort, faith and trust. So my body wants to breathe. Like I just feel like maybe there's been a lot of energy or a lot of stress, which obviously is happening right now in the collective, but they're talking about recalibrating your energy field, your emotions, and relaxing. So taking the time to find a way to reset your anxiety or your emotions, your energetic state. And some of us experience it like anxiety, and some of us experience it mental chatter, OCD. Everything has to be lined up so we can feel in control. That's me. I do that a lot. So I'm seeing for you just making lists or a schedule, and then adding in, making sure you're getting exercises and like exercising the physical body, maybe some meditation, breath work, eating really healthy, and you're showing a lot of fluids, drinking a lot of fluids. I think this obviously is great info for everybody, but specifically for you, 305, that's what they're saying. So thanks for the question, and I'm going to go down to the bottom and check out the queue. So look at your questions there. Okay. Oh wow, there's a lot of you. So okay, so I read that one. I'm just gonna pop it up here, 305, and then that will flush it out of the queue for me. All right. Okay, so here's one. Let's see. Lauren, is this place I am at temporary and I will move? Okay. Or will I be here for a while? Okay, so I think it cut off part of your question, but let me just look about moving for Lauren. Well, they're really saying like it's your heart desire. So where do you want to put your intention? It's interesting because I do feel like a big push of energy wanting to move you. And so I do feel that, but there's an uneasiness, like unsettling about where we're at. So you could stay somewhere close. You could go back home, you were asking, your hometown. Okay. When I tuned into that, it was like you would be bringing up a lot from the past that would give you an opportunity to heal and to reinvent yourself. So whenever I go back to my hometown, sometimes I start to pick up old habits, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just falling into that vibration, I'm just falling into that pattern. That's really not who I've become. So it will give you an opportunity to go within and rediscover who you are and all the growth that you've had. It does feel like a strong pull pulling you back home, but they're saying you have a choice. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. It's just going to be about putting your intention. So I would really look at all of your options and see how you can make it work in whatever decision that you want to have. But both of them will bring you growth. Both will be a great experience. And of course, one will be a little bit more financially like questionable or straining, so you'll have to figure that one out. So I would sit in meditation and just kind of feel with your heart which one is calling you. But your team's really cool because they're saying there isn't just like one answer. You have to consider what each opportunity will bring and what you want to experience. And I've been noticing that a lot in life. It's like, okay, but we have a lot of that free will choice and a lot of that autonomy. Many of us do in this lifetime. And it's an aspect of our self-mastery and stepping into who we are and really getting a good understanding. Okay, who are we? What do we want out of life? And then making that happen. So, yes. Okay, let me check out the next one. Thank you you, Kat. Big hugs from the Soul Awakening podcast. All right, you guys. So Kat, her podcast is so awesome. If you haven't checked it out, she's interviewed me a couple times, and she always has really interesting guests. So I've learned so much, and she's here on Instagram. So a little shout out. Let's see. Okay, this is Heart Your Body. Hi. Where am I right now in my journey? I would really like some guidance. Aw, thanks. Love you guys too. I'm so happy to be able to connect with so many of you. So where are you in your journey? Okay. You have a lot of archangels that just like popped right in. So Archangel Metatron, Michael, Ariel, Raguel. Metatron for me holds a force field around. He really sets the space when I meditate and do energy sessions. And I just feel like so comfortable with his energy around. Michael's vibration, he's coming through like a real big brother kind of feeling. He's coming through like a friend, a close confidant. And then the other ones are there like to support you. Ariel to help you find your way. And you're saying like, where am I in my journey? Okay, so let me tune in. They always show me paths. My team's so funny. I often see railroad tracks, like walking down a track, and are you on the track or off the track? So you're on the track, but you're going really slow and just taking it all in. So right now they're saying it's just about experiencing, it's about exploring, no pressure, easy breezy. And in fact, if you spend some time outdoors and just like in nature and walk, you'll start to find like you're a little bit more in your flow and in your vibration. And it's almost like there's this aspect that says, oh, I'm supposed to be doing something. What am I supposed to be doing? And they're saying, just being. Is that not okay to feel and experience the life of a human and just be here for a moment? So in our state of just being, we are doing so much. So regulate your energy, think about your thoughts and your vibration, and you're going to be led. It's going to pick up. It'll pick up, especially, I know it might sound far, but by January of next year is a big month for you. So it'll pick up for you. So just enjoy, just be. You're in a great space right now. A lot of times we get a little down, like a little downtime where we can rest, and then everything gets super like chaotic and a lot of energy and commotion. So I'm anticipating that for you. So enjoy the experience. And then let's see. Okay, so guys, if you put your question down below, there's a little question mark cue card, and then I'm just gonna go through those for a moment to start. Let's see. Okay, okay. Alana, hi beautiful. Aw. How do I get over a breakup, or how do you get over a breakup that you never thought would end and it feels so unreal? Yeah, oh my gosh, there's just so much energy shifting right now. Friendships and partners and family, a lot of twists and turns are happening, or pulling on energy. So that, we're seeing a lot of that. So your team is saying go within. Like, I just feel like I want to cry, and so I'm sure it's been super emotional. Go within a meditation and gather your energy. It's kind of fragmented. It's like out in your energy field. So breathe and pull it in. And just like that's your space of balance. You want to start pulling your energy back in. I feel like you've left it in other places or in the relationship. So bring it back and come to heart center and focus on your chakras while you're breathing. That will help. And then they're showing you writing out your experience, writing out your thoughts, your emotions, just getting it out onto paper to help process everything. And sending the other person like the best will. Like, okay, obviously something happened, but at some point everything was flowing good. So we honor that experience and we're grateful for what it brought us. So when we can heal in ourselves and then send love out and just be in a space where we can, it's kind of just being like open to the unknown. So being comfortable with yourself, your energy, and then the possibility of what might happen. It allows for deep, deep healing for you and for the relationship and for them. So even though you separated, your energy is still speaking to each other. You might still have cords, you might still have an overlapping, like sometimes in the aura, it'll look like it's overlapping. And that can be so challenging because you might be picking up on their thoughts and their emotions while you're processing yours. And it can be super painful, like at the heart space, if you have cords with your heart that feel like we're ripped or torn. So Archangel Michael helps a lot is what I'm saying. I'm hearing for you. Like he helps a lot for you with this. And then Jeremiel, because Jeremiel is Archangel Jeremiel is amazing. At least in the work I do, he helps us process. And he helps us find the wisdom and the healing and understand the spiritual aspect so that we can move forward. There is this feeling where I do feel like love life is going to return to you fairly soon. So it's about just, healing and coming back into peace of who you are. And I've lost friends too, and I've lost, partners, and like physically, I've had people in my life pass away early. And all of that can be so challenging and hard. So for myself, sometimes when I had to process it, I would just look at it from a higher perspective. Like, we're just in a role play right now. We're just in a play. It's a movie. I'm going to see him on the other side. Or, sometimes the relationships did come back together. So focusing on healing your heart space and through love and through compassion for yourself and others, that will really help. But also look up chakras. Look up what, the energetic anatomy, what a chakra should look like, because your chakra is a little frazzled. So part of what you could be feeling and processing is the discomfort because your chakra is overworking, and the heart chakra. So anything to help heal the heart chakra. For crystals, I like to use rose quartz. I like to use beautiful music that's really soothing and healing because there's sound therapy. There's crystal therapy. And then any food that's green or pink is really good to help nourish from the inside out. But you don't even have to do energy work or be an energy practitioner to heal energy and heal yourself. So you can just put your hands on your heart and focus on the frequency of love. And whatever you need from whomever, you sit in that space and comfort yourself, like give yourself that energy. And so you're lifting yourself up to that frequency. You might even find an ascended master that you like to work with, or for many of us, just the vibration of love is so powerful, because when you feel into the vibration of love, it's just this universal frequency that can heal. So hopefully that helps. I do feel like you're in a little space of shock, which can shock the energetic system and make it a little challenging, but breathe through it, they're saying, and the journaling will help you to process all of this. So hopefully that helps. Oh, okay, good. Goosebumps. All right. Good. That's awesome. All right, so one moment here. Let's pull up the next one. Or I'm just scrolling, do you know what I mean? So, here's a good one. Since I did mention the chakra class, this is a great question. So some of these questions I'm going to use in our chakra class. It's online at spiritschoolmagic.com, and I love to freshen it up with new information and new, I call them case studies, So, but this is a great question. So activating the chakras. The chakras are energetic centers, and our physical body will assist with that. So, and also breath and intention. So any physical movement, dancing, exercising, yoga, stretching, anything like that will activate. And then when you combine your intention, it even gives it more of that oomph that you might need. So some of us go into meditation and we'll breathe into each chakra point, and that will ignite it or activate it, and then allow the energy to flush through. So we're clearing out stagnant energy and also bringing in new vitality, new prana, new chi. So bringing that energy in. And you can access energy from the world around you. Like with your breath, just visualize it coming in from the aura. You can also access energy up from the higher planes of consciousness through your crown chakra or through your feet, Mother Earth. So there's a lot of different places. And focusing on each chakra and breathing in is a really simple, quick, easy way to activate your chakras. From there, the energy will start flowing, and then typically you'll experience either some thoughts or emotions or a physical discomfort as it clears. So whatever's clearing, and then you go into a space where you recharge and revitalize and build up your energetic centers. So yeah, and there's tons, so much info that I can talk on this, on chakras, but I'm gonna move to the next question. So thank you so much for asking that. Jackson Wild says, some just take DMT. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I never did. And, it worked out okay for me. So each chakra has a clear gift associated with it. And, like, the more you work with that chakra, then the more refined, I guess you could say, your gift becomes. So you really tune into it, and you'll find you don't have to use a substance to get there. So, okay, hi, okay, Dial. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna say your name correctly, but you're up on the screen. So, am I living somebody's life, somebody else's karma? I really love your question because you must have a deep level of insight around that, and it can happen, but not many people know that, right? So, when we intermingle our frequencies with others and when we pick up their vibration in our aura, or if we stay connected with a cord to another relationship, and this can be through time and space, it doesn't have to be this lifetime. Okay, so we create an energetic frequency that is met with a response. And basically, that's karma. It doesn't have to be good or bad, and there could be no judgment around it. It's just an experience. But let me do an energetic scan and see. And I'm just hearing too. They're like, let's just talk to you. Okay, so they're trying to work really fast today. So you are clearing a little bit of energy that isn't yours. It's overlapped into your aura. So for that, I would strengthen the aura and push it out. It's not that you're living this being's karma, but the frequency is impeding your clarity and the understanding of who you are, because their energy is hitting you. So what that means is, like, let's say something happened and normally you would respond a certain way, and then all of a sudden you find maybe you're overreactive, or you just don't care and before you would, or you're extra sensitive to something. So that can be because of the influence of an other's energy in your field. So that is one aspect to consider. But as far as like the karma, I'm looking. So what you're doing is you're actively clearing energy from the past, but this is ancestral energy. So you might notice that, and it can feel a little like, oh, what's happening? I don't understand where this is coming from. Why am I met with such a strong reaction? Why am I feeling the intensity? And why are things happening? So sometimes you can just look at it like an opportunity. So if something presents itself to you, try to be really calm. Take a moment before you react, really process everything, and by that, your thoughts and your emotions, and ask your team or ask your heart, okay, what would be the best approach to release this frequency? And that's why I like to work with Ascended Masters. I like to work with my guides. I like to work with archangels, because they can give you a little bit of information that maybe we forgot or aren't aware of in this reality. And then also they will help to clear and release energy. So when you're in a space and you're feeling the energy in your system, it can feel a little bit overwhelming, but when a team comes in, for them it's nothing. They just start pulling frequencies out or bringing light into flesh and clear it out. And so the stronger, for all y'all, the stronger your relationship is with the higher power, or with your higher self, even with energy, like I mentioned earlier, the frequency of love, then when you need, and you like feel like you're in a space where you really need that connection, they'll be there, and it comes through so much stronger. And I know there's a lot of sayings out there, or things that people say, like your angels will always be there and all this stuff. But I have been in a space where it was hard to feel them, and I have had clients where it's hard for them to feel them too. So for myself, it was like I feel like I had to always have trust and hope and a sense of a relationship with them for the energy to start flowing, and for me to open up to allow this miracle to happen, or this healing to happen. And with that, once I surrendered or aligned myself with, like, we're working together as a team, it felt that it would happen so much more efficiently. So just a lot quicker, and with a thorough cleanse, like it didn't have to keep going back to it. So hopefully that helps. But for karma, you are clearing some ancestral DNA from, like, karma or energy in the ancestors. There is a little bit of energy around you that wasn't yours, but do a light body guided meditation activation. There's one here on Instagram TV, and then also if you go to Spirit School Magic and you click that link, it will take you to some free meditations, and I'll just put it through right here, but it won't show for the replay viewers. So if you're watching this after, just check the comments. So, okay. Boyo, I just saw, is there a resort in the Mount Shasta area? Sorry, I have to answer you there. There are spaces, there's places to go stay. It's very remote. I love it there. We were supposed to be there in June of this year, but with everything, we're going next year. So if anybody's interested, raisethevibetribe.com has all the info. But there is a Stewart Mineral Springs. They're cabins that you can rent, and the land is beautiful. So I know of that place. A lot of people go for Airbnbs, and I think it depends like what part are you wanting to go ski or hike the mountain, because you can go on the other side of the mountain. But I'm talking like the city, the little town of Mount Shasta. So yeah, I don't remember ever seeing a really heavy populated resort. So yeah. Okay, let's see. But somebody else on here might have information on it. Yeah, if you guys are familiar. Them's green. Hi. Okay, let's see. How do I grow spiritual when my partner is not? Well, it is such an interesting experience. Let me share with you. We all grow, like we all have our own flow with things, and maybe they are, but it's a different way. So I'm pretty heavily into, energy and angels and afterlife, all this stuff. And then there's some people in my life that are growing, but they're developing other aspects of their, I guess, education or whatever they're interested in. And it is helping them spiritually because it's a part of their life path. So you have to be really careful when you think, oh, somebody isn't growing and I am, so you have to be kind of careful. But to answer, if you're doing a lot and you're finding that it's causing hiccups or a little bit of issue in your relationship because maybe they don't want to talk about what you want to talk about, or maybe their energy's just feeling kind of funky, and then you're lifting your vibration and it becomes uncomfortable, yeah. So that's a challenge. So for many of us in that space, we take a lot of alone time to clear our frequency and get really centered on who we are. Some relationships make it through just by patience and allowing the person to work through their stuff. Communication is key. So it can happen. And then some relationships just find that a part of their spiritual growth was understanding what they needed, and that relationship wasn't a good fit. Maybe you got what you needed from it, and a part of that is understanding the contrast of what isn't going to work for a lifelong partnership or what is working for a lifelong partnership. So for me, I would just say patience, a lot of alone time, finding a community that is like open to the conversations that maybe you can't have with them. And sometimes it can feel like a lonely path. It's really interesting. I've noticed that many of us will meet like on a platform like this, and you're thinking, oh my God, why can't you be my neighbor? Like, why aren't we so close in the physical? What is this about? But perhaps it's because we're just sprinkled across in the communities, just like bringing that frequency to that space. And I always feel like we are providing an opportunity for growth. We're providing an opportunity for an experience, and it's just that we are giving them that opportunity if they want to take it or not. And so knowing when to say, okay, we're gonna do our own thing. I waited long enough. That's always important too. But your partner, your friends, they don't have to have the same belief system. They don't have to be at the same spiritual level, as long as they're not creating drama or pulling you backwards or creating distractions. Then just be patient. Just know that you're doing you spiritually. You're on your path, and that's really, really important. So just take the time to focus on you. So okay, let's see. I'm seeing all your happy messages here in the chat. Oh, I love it. Am I single? No, I'm not single. Thanks for asking though. Okay, yeah, no, I've actually been married for a long time. 21 years, if you can believe it. So let me go to the next question. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for one that would help everybody. So, okay, one moment. Oh, this is a good one. Yay! Favorite topic, if you know me. What is the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate? So this is super important to talk about as far as the whole idea of labeling things, right? And we all might have our own understanding, our own definition. These are pretty straightforward, these two right here, but I'll explain. For myself, a soulmate is any person that you're supposed to have this life with. And any person that perhaps is from your soul family. So you could have a soulmate in this life as a best friend, as a sibling, as a parent, as a spouse. And I've done a lot of work. I'm a past life hypnotherapist, so in a process of just totally falling in love with that modality, I've read a lot of case studies and a lot of work by Dr. Newton and Dr. Weiss, Dolores Cannon, there's been a little Edgar Casey in there. So, and then all the experiences that I've had with training. So that's where all this info is coming from, if you're wondering. But so we have soul groups, we have soul families. And so when you come into a lifetime and you say, I'm going to play that role for you in this life, and then you're attracted to somebody and you have this relationship, and then maybe you have a falling out, well, maybe that was the role they were playing for you, right? And so that could be a soulmate. A soulmate comes in so many different experiences, and you can have more than one soulmate, obviously. Twin flames, I don't really get on board with that just because it kind of always felt funny to me, and I really saw that it was super overdone on social. And I just saw it was being used for marketing with people that I had a lot of people writing to me about issues, right? So with some certain marketing here on Instagram. So I always kind of felt weird about that. I'm just going to be honest. I kind of felt weird about that. And then I did have a reading, and somebody was very distraught because they felt that they lost their soulmate, their twin flame. And Metatron was just this can create more damage than good. Because when there's that confusion that we're only supposed to be with one person in this life, and if it doesn't happen, it can psychologically mess you up completely. And I know, and I've heard stories of people who've ended their life over this. So for me, that's a really iffy, touchy thing. And I've seen people where it looks like they're two lights that look identical, and somebody might call them a twin flame, but they were friends, you know what I'm saying? So they weren't even intimate partners. So it can come in all different varieties. But what Metatron was telling me is that the theory of it is that your soul splits and you come to earth and you have to find the other part of you to be complete. And that this particular reading, what they were actually doing, they were looking just to feel complete and for the other part of themselves. And you can do that. You can find that connection through connecting with yourself, through meditating. And for myself, I would go up through all the chakras, up really high, connect with my frequency, and bring it back down into my heart. So those are the definitions, and I just have a really hard time promoting the whole thing about twin flames. He said that it can happen, but it's very rare. It's typically ascended master type status where they need to bring a lot of life on earth. Or there can be where it's really not your twin flame, but it's like a soulmate, like a family member, and you guys come down together and you have a reason for reconnecting. But there's so many of us here right now that our reason for being here is beyond ourselves. However, if you feel like this life is just completely 100% dedicated to your growth and development and not helping humanity at all, then that might be part of your path, is to find the aspect of your higher frequency and who you are, and maybe you'll recognize that it might be mirrored in another person. But you just have to be so careful, because once you come into this reality, it's this planet free will choice and duality 100%. So even if you had somebody that was supposed to be your partner and they decided not to be, you have to buck up and be strong and know okay, well shit, that didn't work out, And so then go back into the strength of knowing who you are, and it's all going to be okay, because this is just an experience. And at a soul level, you'll be with your people again. Like, you'll be complete and you'll be with them again. So that's my little that's my little bit on soulmates and twin flames. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, I don't do twin flame readings just because I feel that they can do more harm than good. Soulmates, I'm 100% on board. If anybody wanted a soulmate reading, I could let you know if they're a part of your soul family. So yeah, that's right, Abby. It's one soul that separated at one point. But like in my line of work, that's called soul fragmentation. And it doesn't mean that we go into multiple lives, like bodies at the same time. Then you also have parallel lives and bilocation. So, I've like done meditations where I found my energy in other lifetimes and reconnected with it. But that was not this lifetime. So it's so interesting when you get to the quantum aspect and parallel realities and all of this. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me pull up the next question. Let's see. Okay, this one is St. Thomas. Hi. How can I stop sabotaging myself? I just was called to I don't even know what they're going to say. Sometimes I'll get an answer and then I click it because I have your answer. But so let me tune in for you. It's about accountability. And that is something you're learning in this life, accountability. Who is going to be there for you if you're not there for yourself? They're talking about this. So there is some past life stuff coming into it, definitely. There's a little bit of guilt where you kind of in the past, maybe you saw a pattern in this life where you would sabotage other people in your life. And so there's a deep behind the scenes subconscious thing about trying to make the energy right, make the karma right. But you can clear that by saying to your team, okay, I'm ready. I learned my lesson. Can we move on? And then it's about reestablishing your pattern. So anything that you used to do that would sabotage yourself, note it, check it, and pull yourself out of it. So they're talking about it's become habitual for you. It's also, I'm hearing systemic, it's in your system, and I see that it's gone from lifetime to lifetime. This theme, it didn't always be with yourself. Sometimes it was with others, but now you're experiencing it kind of as a self-experience, a self-reflection. It's coming up in this reality. So how can you stop? First of all, forgiveness. That's 100% what I'm hearing. And this is going to be emotional. So go through everything you can think about that you felt horrible about or guilty about, or times where you felt that you failed, and forgive yourself. You have to start clean. Then align with a high frequency, connecting with your team, your higher self, and just look at implementation, things you can do. If it was an addiction, just start thinking about, well, how can I not put myself in that situation? Okay, full disclosure, I love Cheetos. I get addicted to Cheetos. I don't know why, they're totally horrible for you. But at night, sometimes I just just stop buying them. So whatever, if that's the thing, that'd be the first thing on my list. Just stop buying them. Don't even walk down the chip aisle, so that's my thing. So, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm just saying that's for real, and it's silly and ridiculous, but it's a huge impact for me. So start at the first step. So they're saying make some steps. So what's the first thing? And then secondly, they're talking about self-worth, building up your self-worth, really knowing who you are, and that you're this beautiful, bright light that's meant to be here, and all of this distortion and this guilt and these low thoughts of yourself have just clogged up your channel. So releasing through meditation will help you come back to center, back to source, back to who you are. And I also see here around the mind, but out in the field. So we have a mental body out here. There's a lot of energy moving through. So clearing the mental body. And if you go, I think it might be at Spirit School. Okay, just check out or message me for all my accounts. But there's an IGTV meditation where that's what we focused on. And it came out 3 weeks ago. But you can also find it on YouTube. So it's, on YouTube. And if you go to... This will take you right to my YouTube page, but you want to go out of the playlist. So Starseed Ascensions, that account will take you right to my YouTube page if you just click the bio, and there's a great meditation to clear the mental body. So I hope that helps. Just kind of write it all down. Those are the first few steps to get started, and a little info of to like, why is it so hard, and why does that keep coming up for you? And it's past life stuff. So, and past life stuff, sometimes I think like, this is not fair, have a few choice words around it because we don't understand. We're like, I'm struggling, I keep working with this, why does it keep coming up? So in your meditation, ask your team to start clearing and healing it, releasing the connection and I feel like the ownership and the responsibility to it, because you're ready to heal by forgiving yourself and letting go. And this is why I think it's so messed up, because how is our conscious mind supposed to know that? It's like a whole spiritual experience with that amnesia. How do we know? So hopefully that info really, really will help you. So, okay, awesome. I'm getting really animated today. I'm loving I'm loving the questions and your guys' answers. Your teams are just like here so fast right here. Okay, so anxious as a teacher about school reopening, any guidance? Yeah, there's multiple realities right now, and in some realities people are very concerned about that, and in others they're not at all. So I'm hearing, why are other people not concerned about it? So maybe just kind of like hearing some other point of view will help to balance it out for you, of course, in addition to proper precautions. So for what I'm getting for you, it's all about education of the situation, and there's some information that you haven't uncovered yet that you're not privy to. So we live in a dualistic experience. We have heaviness and we have lightness. We have an issue, there's a solution. There's always a solution. And so it's about finding the little spaces for the solution. And even if it's just starting with, okay, washing hands, or, just doing what you need to do, because an aspect of this is feeling a lack of control and not knowing. And that's also like when we're concerned about getting sick or something. When we're sick, I know for myself, I get so mad because I'm like, this is putting a wrench in my day. I had so much I wanted to do, so it's an aspect of not having control, how we feel. It's like out of our control. So they're saying that really like think about the positive aspect of it. And if anything was to come up, already have your answer, your solution to it at hand, and just gently leading your class through proper procedures and precautions and these sorts of things, and just like be led by the heart is what I'm hearing. So there's a solution, there's a way for things to flow smoothly. And if you're anxious, then that can block our clarity sometimes. So take a break to step away from whatever's making you anxious and just breathe and like look for solutions, or look for the flip side of it. So because to me it feels like fire, like I'm getting all fired up and anxious, but there's information out there that feels like water that will kind of calm it down and just help you to feel a little bit better. So you're talking about anxiety, and anxiety for me anyways is an excess of energy hitting the chakras. So it's an excess of energy and emotions, and so, or energy and information, like if I have too much hitting me at once. So slowly process it all, and I think that will help you to feel a little bit more at ease and a little bit more in your flow, like in your how do I want to say it? I'm feeling, well, you're going to feel confident about it, but more that it's your truth and that you have a little bit more control over the scenario and your space. So hopefully that helps. And hopefully you were here when I read it. Sometimes I wonder if people have waited on, like if they're still here, but if not, hopefully the replay. So yeah, okay. Oh, bye Mel. Yeah, my sister was on. I just saw her say. I didn't even see her here. So, okay, well, I'm gonna try, and I hope this replay will save. So I think that would be nice. Oh, okay, Cole Glam, I see you just here in the thread. I know you're here, so I'm gonna answer your question real quick. So can you comment on manifestations that begin to materialize, then seem to derail while the frequency and the vibration continues to rise? Ooh, good question. Oh my gosh, and I have experienced that recently, and it was like, what just happened, So, so, so everything's moving, and you guys know that. Like we're seeing it really in the public. Like we're seeing it in the collective, and everything's moving really quickly in a quantum way. And one vision that my team showed me is everything expands and contracts, and every time it contracts, it resets, and then we expand. So what's happening is some of the timelines are just refreshing so quickly that all of the materialized, they're showing like, it looks like structures and a platform that would hold that just falls and collapses. So the beautiful thing about this reality is we can create and manifest. But then the crazy thing about this reality is also we're up to, a lot of it is also up to the collective and the energy that we're in. That's why sometimes when we just move to a different location or space, it switches everything for us. So that's what's happening. There's just a lot of movement right now, and there's a lot of light coming in, and then there's a lot of heavy stuff clearing. So in about 6 months, they're saying 6 to 8 months, it'll be a little bit easier to really see that fruition. And I keep getting like all these messages like, okay, things are going to be a little bit hectic and a little bit bumpy for, 6 to 8 more months. So what does that bring us into? January, February kind of time frame, which makes sense, I guess. I guess it makes sense. So be open, they're saying, to the possibilities. There's a lot of things put in motion that the energy will still stay there. And then when things, I want to say calm down, but they're saying pace themselves out, whatever that means. They always talk a little bit different, but pace themselves out. So I just see a flat, calm surface. Then the energy will catch up to it, and you'll be able to create in that space. So yes. So thank you for that question. Okay. And then real quick, let's see. I'm just going to scroll to some more that you guys put. There's so many. I'm just kind of scrolling through. Okay. Tanny Louise. Okay. I would love any message that comes through. Okay, so let's see what comes through. I have a feeling that what comes through will be for you, and then also for a couple other people here. So, all right, so one moment. I'm just closing my eyes so I can focus. There's a lot of energy around. Okay, I close my eyes. There's a lot of gold, like light energy around, a lot of angel energy around. So one message is we're not alone, and some of you might have questioned or wondered, but there's ways to understand that, like you can feel it, or you can have a physical sign, you can have synchronicities. So one message is that we're not alone, and here a struggle, like it feels like a struggle, and they're saying we're just in this like holding space because everything's going to shift. We're in transition. Everything's just like in this, I feel sometimes like I'm just in this holding space, but it will all open up and change for us fairly soon. And they're saying focus on how you feel. So clearing out the collective, like clearing out the energy of other people. That's why right now meditation and really knowing who you are, and if that's your emotion and thought, or a family member or friend or the collective, so really being clear. And then when you're there, feel into your space, because if there's anything we need to be made aware of, typically our team will give us a heads up, but it comes with a solution. It comes with a sense of like, it can feel urgency, like a sense of urgency, but there's like information, like, okay, get on it, because this and this is gonna happen, so do this, or you'll find that you're just at peace. So I'm telling you all this because I'm seeing multiple layers of reality. And like I mentioned earlier, and this makes a lot of sense when you think that we're shifting our consciousness to the higher realms or higher states of being. So what's pretty popular right now is the idea of like moving to the 5th dimension, but many of you are already there, and beyond, I like to say. And to me, it looks and it feels like different realms. And you'll notice that because there might be people in your life that are living a completely different experience and reality. Their energy is in a different space, like maybe they're flighty and up in the clouds all day, maybe they're in fear all day, maybe they're in creative mode, maybe they never watch TV, or maybe they're like totally on to like, what is the news telling me? So we create our own little biosphere, our little biohemisphere, we create our own reality. And so in that process, they're just saying to look beyond based on how you feel. And when we go in with how we feel, that's an indicator of our path. And then we know we're on our path and not being pulled into somebody else's, whatever they're creating or spinning on. So, because you can spin on it, meaning like it repeats itself. So this thought just keeps coming over and over, and I can't find a solution to it. Why isn't it clearing, And then I'll ask my team, okay, hold on, is this even mine? And they're like, nope. I'm like, oh my God. I was just spinning my energy for however long for something that didn't even belong to me. And the same with emotions. So if you're sensitive or empathic, you'll probably notice that happens a lot to you. And it's just about understanding what is your normal, what is you, how do you typically think and feel, and then recognizing, why am I feeling this way? I don't have a reason for it. So you dig kind of deep with it, because sometimes it can be past life stuff like we mentioned, but often it's not even ours. So hopefully that helped. And that was a really long kind of just a lot of information for your question, but hopefully that helped. So let's see. Alex is asking, any advice for somebody going through a Kundalini awakening, what to expect and how long does it last? I don't really have a lot of information on that. My experience was, it was fast, but it was, okay, I'm like contradicting myself. I was like, it wasn't that bad. They're showing me, okay, it was fast, it was intense, but it didn't last a long time. And I just, after that, everything changed though, like my whole world changed. So it can be amazing. And so they're saying just breathe through it, be patient, a lot of rest and sleep if you need it, and don't force it, don't force it. Let it naturally develop. So so that you're not overwhelming yourself. Okay, let me find another one off the card here. Okay, am I on the right path, life? Let's see. Well, you kind of, I was talking, if you were here earlier, about the railroad track and how they show me life path, and it's like on the railroad track, clicked in, you're kind of off. You veered to the right a little bit. So get back on your path. So you're just checking some stuff out, they're saying, a little distraction. And so think about experiences in your life, friendships, or maybe you're wasting, that's not my word, I'm hearing. You're spending, I'll say it nicely, spending a lot of time. Maybe you're spending a lot of time researching stuff that really you don't need to right now, or because I see you're just getting pulled into things that are taking your time and your attention somewhere else. So if you go back to center and they're sharing, okay, what are your passions? What do you love? What are your hobbies? What are some key things that maybe you're missing that you used to really love and experience, and going back towards those, that's going to pop you back into your vibration and get you on your path. But I do see energy around you that doesn't belong to you. So I don't know if you're hanging out with people and it's theirs and you're like, okay, we can have friendships, obviously, but don't let their intentions for life or their vibration pull you out of your stream, right? And I'm kind of seeing that happening. So it's either people in your life, or it could be something you're watching. Like if you're watching something on TV, or I don't know, it's just another person's energy around you. And I'm tending to feel that it's two people in your life. So that's what I'm getting. So I hope that I'll just leave that with you, and hopefully that makes sense and you can really connect with it. And if not, maybe in the future, you'll start to have these aha moments like, oh yeah, okay, that's who it was about. Okay, so the giggling elephant, that is a really awesome name. How do I drop the heaviness? So are you by chance talking about like energy and emotion or physical heaviness? I'm just gonna go with energy. And that can be a challenge right now. So many of us are feeling a lot of our own stuff and the collective, and it's just a lot this year. So for myself, what I do is I shared this before, I like to go in my car and just play the music really loud to shake it out of my field. So you can do any form of energy therapy through sound, like shake it out. well, clearing, let's say. And then, but also meditation and just focusing on positive things in life. So watching a positive show, reading a positive book, listening to like a podcast or stuff like that, and maybe just like call a friend that you know is always has a great outlook, and take responsibility so that you can shift your thoughts, and that's going to help shift your vibration and your emotions. So there is an aspect where it's thoughts, but it's also emotions. So just start finding things to lighten the mood. So laughing, spending time outdoors. If you have any kids or like pets in your life, they always tend to bring out such joy and purity. So that can always lift the mood. So that might be a few ways to lift the heaviness. I don't think it's yours. I'm kind of looking at you and it looks like it's just like all around you from the top down, and it's not yours. It's not coming from inside. So you're feeling frequencies that aren't yours. So do a clearing meditation and work with the archangels and ask to release any frequencies that don't belong to you. Like anything that is not yours, you don't have to carry that around with you. So, oh, it's so sweet, Katerina. It's just the rain before the rainbow. It can be. Are you talking about for the last reading or something that you're going through? I love that analogy though, the rain before the rainbow. And I do love the rain. It's always so lovely. What would I recommend to keep stress under control? Exercising and eating really healthy and meditating and getting sleep. It's all physical stuff, right? But I mean, well, the meditation isn't, but that helps so much because it helps us just blow off steam, and so we're not carrying a lot of the stress around with us. Ooh, I just saw you could even get a massage, work it out of the shoulders and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, it's all about self-care and what you might find helps you in these stressful moments. Like it just depends for me. If it's because I'm stressed out because I'm behind on something, I just have to buckle down and hold myself accountable and finish my projects and these sorts of things. So hopefully that helps. So yeah, oh my gosh. Well, guys, I know that it's going to end in just a few minutes, so I'm going to end our chat today in hopes that it will save. In the past, when it just ended on me, it didn't save. So it was super nice meeting everybody, and I'll try and pop back on again. I'm trying to do a video every week, either here on Instagram or on YouTube. And if you want to book a private session, the link is in the bio at Raise the Vibe Tribe or at Amy Sikarskie. And thank you so much for joining, and like just thank you so much everybody for hanging in there and being a positive light, keeping your vibe high for everybody in your life and community. And it's been so awesome. So here are two of my pages where you can go to my websites, multiple websites. I have a school, I have YouTube, I have Raise the Vibe Tribe for all the retreats if you guys want to join. And if you want to book a session with me, then mine is on there also. And if you're watching the replay, I'll put it in the comments or in the caption below. My YouTube is / Amy Sikarskie. So you go to youtube.com and then you go / Amy Sikarskie. my phone is wanting to auto type, and I'm like, no, that's not accurate. So you just like do / there. And all right, it's been lovely. We'll see you guys all another time. Okay, bye.